I don't believe anybody in our lifetime will do what Messi has done, club-wise. Club-wise, nobody's going to equal what Messi has done. Nobody was putting him in the same conversation as Ronaldinho at the time, as Kaka at the time, as Henry at the time, or what Cannavaro did at the World Cup at the time. Nobody was putting them in that discussion. For Mbappe, he doesn't play like a 19-year-old.
Double H.
19 in 2006. Hi. Put out a tweet some time ago. I believe this was during the World Cup. And this tweet received a lot of backlash. Understandably so. What was the tweet? Mbappe at 19 is better than Lionel Messi was at 19. That was my statement. And I stand by it. And this video is my calling to double down upon what I believe to be true. That, in fact, Mbappe at 19 was better than Messi was at 19. So, how do we tackle this? Guys, it's going to be a long one. If you want to do press pause. I always say press pause. Get a meal, sit in because I want to try and look at this objectively. You know? And this isn't for fanboys. Because for fanboys, they don't listen to anything. These are for football fans who can try and be objective and look at things in a much more holistic, rounded way. So, let's roll through. First of all, I'm older than a lot of my subscribers, which is what I found. I actually am. So, I was very aware of when Messi was around at 19. Because, again, I don't want to give out my age. Let's just say me and Messi are pretty close in age. So we were definitely born in the same era. Very much in the same era. So we're pretty much of similar age. So when he was 19, I was around that age. So I knew exactly what the guy was doing. And I think I remember things when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, and so forth. So, Messi's date of birth is 24th of June, 1987, which means that he was on the 24th of June, 2006, he was 19. If I'm not mistaken. So 2006, he turned 19. So, what was the landscape of football between 24th of June 2006? 24th of June 2006 to the 24th of June 2007. Again, I just wanted to reiterate myself that I'm right. So he's 31 now. He would have been 21 he's 31 now, 2018. 21, he would have been 21 back in 2008. 2007, he would have been 20. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that the mathematics was right. So what was the landscape of between 06 and 07? 2006, that was the year in which Arsenal reached the Champions League final, where they faced Barcelona. So in that year, in 2006, again, I don't really read about Ballon d'Ors or everything. In that year, 3 players, because, that year we had the Champions League final between Barcelona and Arsenal. That same year, we also had the World Cup. Let's look at the Champions League final. You could argue that within club football and within the Champions League, the 2 standout players were Thierry Henry and Ronaldinho. Those were the 2 standout players within club football. And when Barcelona won that final, really, that people say that man, Ronaldinho was, even if Ronaldinho doesn't have his best game in that game, what he did prior to that game was exemplary, absolutely outstanding. Just check out what he did to Nesta and Gattuso in the semi-final against AC Milan. And for Henry, again, that was Henry's greatest ever season because he pretty much single-handedly got to Arsenal to a Champions League final, which people didn't really think that they would do based on the players who had already left that team. But also in that year, you also had Fabio Cannavaro. Didn't have a great Champions League where obviously Arsenal beat Juventus on the way to get in the Champions League final, but he was the star of that World Cup. He was absolutely amazing and he deservedly so won the Ballon d'Or. And then we move over from there to all the way to 07, which of course was, I believe there was a Copa America that year as well. So I'm not sure, but I believe there was a Copa America that year as well. But definitely for sure, that was when AC Milan got the revenge on Liverpool and they won the Champions League. So 07, you could argue that Kaká was the player of the year, and I think he may have won the Ballon d'Or that year, but I'm not sure. But you could argue that Kaká was that year. So what is the reason for me saying this? Kaká, Ronaldinho, Henry, Cannavaro. Messi was never mentioned amongst those players at that time. I'll repeat myself. Messi was not mentioned amongst those players at that particular time. Let's have another bite. So again, I'll say that one more time. Messi was not mentioned amongst those players at that particular time. I'll let you chew on that. Messi at 19 was superbly talented. And I remember when I saw him, I remember the first thing that I thought was that, man, can you really be an amazing player when you... So I remember someone saying to me that, like, you can't really be an amazing player with a name like Messi. You need a name like a Maradona, Ronaldo. But then I said, no, you make a legend yourself so you can call yourself Porcupine. But if you're bloody amazing, people are like, man, that Porcupine is amazing. But I remember when Messi at 19 was like, no, this guy is ridiculously talented. That was the key thing, was I saw Messi as just an amazingly talented guy. Like, this guy's dribbling, the way that he can weave through and so forth. He was an extremely talented guy who we knew could get better. And the excitement was that, look at how talented this dude is. Look at all the stuff this guy's doing. Imagine how good he'll be in 3 to 4 years' time. But the main thing was that he was supremely, just amazingly talented. But nobody even entertained the discussion of like, man, this guy is next to... Nobody was putting him in the same conversation as Ronaldinho at the time, as Kaká at the time, as Henry at the time, or what Cannavaro did at the World Cup at the time. Nobody was putting them in that discussion. Let's ride with Kylian. Let's just ride with Kylian, because I wanna. I want to be very, very short here. So Kylian, Wikipedia, because we love our friends at Wikipedia. So Kylian Mbappe's date of birth is 20th of December 1990. Wow. So he's gonna be 20 on the 20th of December. Now, what has Mbappe done? He's moved. So at this time, okay, he's moved to PSG. He's done his thing at PSG. He's pretty good, but not really taking the world by storm as opposed to what he did at Monaco. But he's a World Cup winner. And he was one of the most critical figures at that World Cup. So he was a very, very key component for France winning that World Cup and helping them to propel them to World Cup victory. And I believe he is the only other teenager other than Pele to score in a World Cup final. The World Cup, which is the most watched sports competition in the world and the toughest, highest level. let's be real. Let us be fully frank and real. Messi is better than Mbappe right now. 100%. He is. And you can say this. Messi is better than Mbappe now. 100% now. Now, and your stripes, I'm not going to disrespect Messi now. Mbappe is not touching Messi right now. But you can have him in the discussion. People are having a discussion. People are having a discussion about it. He's not better. He's not better. But people are putting him in the conversation. If someone told me that Mbappe right now is better than Neymar, let's talk. Anybody saying that Mbappe is better than Messi right now? No, let's not. He's in the conversation, but I don't want to. I can't let the conversation go too far ahead. No, you can't do that. But you can put him in the conversation, but you will always lose the conversation. Against Neymar, we can have that conversation, and you know what? We can even go further in that conversation. And people can argue that yes, Mbappe is better than Neymar, and arguments can be made. There is no argument that you can say that Mbappe is better than Messi right now. But you can make an argument that Mbappe is better than Neymar right now. You can make an argument that Mbappe is better than Cristiano right now. You can make an argument that Mbappe is better than Hazard right now, or Modric right now, or Ramos right now. Do you see the parallels I'm drawing here? Let's flip back. Nobody was putting Messi in the same conversation as what Ronaldinho was doing or what Henry was doing. But as of right now, people are having the conversation of Mbappe and Messi. People are having the conversation of Mbappe and Neymar. They're having the conversation. Because let's be real. Let's illustrate it better for you. I believe that the gap between Messi and Ronaldinho between 06 and 07 was far greater than the gap between Mbappe and Messi. How about that? Mbappe is far closer to Messi right now than Messi was to Ronaldinho or Kaká in the period of 06 to 07. And here is the key thing that I tried to illustrate while guys were attacking me online. Messi at 19 this is an amazingly talented kid. An amazingly talented kid. And we can't wait to see this guy develop. Like, we are witnessing the next great thing. And we're right. We do. We have witnessed the greatest club football player of all time. For Mbappe, he doesn't play like a 19-year-old. He doesn't play like a talented kid. He doesn't play like a talented teenager. He plays like a 25-year-old. And that's the difference, because when I just see how Mbappe is playing, what he's doing, what he did at the World Cup, what he's doing for PSG, what he did for Monaco, I'm like, he's playing like a grown man. He's playing far beyond his years, which is the most fascinating thing that I've seen. Hence why it's like an argument can be made that he's perhaps the greatest 19-year-old ever. Although you could look at what Pele was doing and what Ronaldo did, because I think Ronaldo and Pele, those are strong arguments. But focusing on Mbappe and Messi, that is the difference there. And this is where people get confused. Because I say Mbappe at 19 was better than Messi was at 19, it does not mean that Mbappe will become better than Messi. I don't believe that I don't believe anybody in a lifetime will do what Messi has done, club-wise. Club-wise, nobody's going to equal what Messi has done. Mbappe will just have to create and cultivate his own legacy. As Ronaldo has his own legacy, Pele had his own legacy, Maradona had his own legacy, and so forth. Henry had his own legacy, Dino had his own legacy. That's what creates your own unique legacy on how you impacted the game. Because as far as within a 10, 11, 12-year period, nobody's touching Messi. No one is. But again, this is the key thing as well in my discussion. So 2006, Argentina had a damn good team. Very good team. One of their best teams. Messi wasn't on the bench in that team. I've said, and people may disagree, I believe that, because basically I did like a little video on the Patreon channel. I said that the best French team was their 2000 team. Their 2010 was their best team. I believe their most talented squad, their most talented generation is now. The most talented generation is now. Based on the pool of players who didn't even get on the plane to Russia. Okay? We're talking about Martial. We're talking about Lacazette. We're talking about Kotzuma. Okay? We're talking about a lot of dudes. We're talking about a lot of dudes. And Mbappe as a 19-year-old was central to a very talented French World Cup squad. And let's be real. Mbappe at 19 now, he'll bench a 2006 Tevez. He'll bench a 2006 Saviola. Mbappe starting at Argentina 2016 at 19. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Mbappe at 19 gets into that Argentina 2016. Messi, as talented as he was, they were like, nah, you're not ready yet. You're not yet developed to start in our first team for Argentina 06. Mbappe, because I believe that he is playing far beyond his years, starting that team because he's too good, too refined already to be holding the bench. So that is what I present to people on the table. It's what I present to people on the table. It's nothing harsh, nothing to try and be afraid of. It's just a very friendly thought process. It's just a very friendly thought process of, if you are objective, that's the key thing. If you're a fanboy, you're not going to listen to any sense. So if you're a fanboy, there's no point of you even watching this video. I implore you, I beg you not to watch the video. If you're like, nah, man, Messi's the best, Messi's my idol. If he's your idol and you idolize him and you worship him, don't watch this video. I'm begging you, no. This video is strictly for football fans who can be objective. I want to try and debate the truth because I'm open for debate. And I will argue ad infinitum with anybody that's Mbappe at 19 is better than Messi at 19. Make una talk. I did talk. I don't feel come out for anywhere. Let me just throw some pigeon in there. So that's the situation, because because the key thing is this, is that as I already said, I am a similar age to Messi. We're a similar age. I'm not younger than him. Okay, I'm old. Again, I don't want to reveal my age. I'm older than Messi, so I know exactly how he was, and I've been watching football ever since I was born. So I know exactly how he was playing when he was that age, and the Messi of now and the Messi of 19 are almost two completely different players. Because the Messi of 19 was just this rapidly guy that could dribble, go in and out, and was very hard to tackle. That hard, amazing control. That was just amazing what he could do as an individual and how easily he could beat players. He wasn't the playmaking genius, the creative mastermind, the conjurer, the puppet master, the pass expert, and the goal scorer that he is now. So he really developed his game a lot. So he had a lot of maturing and refining to do. Mbappe has a lot of refining to do, but the scary thing about Mbappe is this. This is the scariest thing. If this dude we see gets better and improves, that's frightening. Frightening. If this dude that we see here improves by a lot, that's really scary. Like, really, really scary. Because, yeah, he can improve. There are a few things that he can do better. Particular situations, decision-making, a bit of consistency here and there, especially in tougher games. But, as I said, Messi improved by a lot. Like, by the time Messi was 25, 26, he had really improved his overall game a lot. So if this dude that we see here improves by the same margin as how Messi has done, whoo-wee. It's deep. It's deep. So guys, let's have a discussion. Because I will be in the comments below and I want to talk. Okay, let's have it back and forth. But I implore you, digest what I've said. Digest it. Think on it. Look at footage. But you know what? That's wrong. Don't look at footage, because again, footage can be out of context. See, I don't want to be rude here. If you're 16 or even 20 now, or 21, it's very hard for you to really understand. So I'm talking to the 26, 27-year-olds, 28-year-olds, 29-year-olds, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36-year-olds, 37-year-olds, 38-year-olds. Those are the guys that I believe were living and breathing around, not living and breathing, but were watching those full games with a very clear head, where every Sunday they were watching those full matches when Ronaldinho was the king. It was, look, Ronaldinho was the guy. He was the don at the time. And then you obviously had Kaká as well, who was knocking about. And of course, Henry. But really, Ronaldinho was the dude. And for those guys that remember when Ronaldinho was the king, around the time of 06, 07, be true to yourself. How did we view Messi? Be true to yourself. How did we view Messi? And compare it to how Mbappe is viewed now within the rankings of the world. Let's be real. Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.